Welcome to our presentation today, AI, Ride the Wave, Don't Get Caught in the Tsunami. My name is Sonia Moffett,
And I'm Daisy Gillum.
and we're so happy to have you with us today. Before we get started, we want to take care of some housekeeping items and let you know about our commitment to inclusion and accessibility. If there are any aspects of this presentation's design or delivery that presents barriers to accessibility, please reach out to the respective center below. That would be our online students can reach out to our OAC or Online Accessibility Center by emailing them at oac@snhu.edu, or you can call them by phone at 866 305 9430. Our campus students, you can reach out to the Campus Accessibility Center by emailing them at cac@snhu.edu, or you can call them by phone at 603 644 3118. And finally, if you are an SNHU staff member or faculty, you can reach out to our Human Resources Office by emailing them at hr@snhu.edu.
Thanks, Sonia. I want to go ahead and share the agenda for today. So, in today's session, we're going to talk about the past, present, and future of AI, especially as it relates to the workforce, including some recommendations that we have for you to best be able to ride the wave and not get caught in the tsunami. Throughout the presentation, we're going to be using Google as a case study. So as of December 2023, Google is considering laying off 30,000 workers and replacing them with AI, including Google's entire ad sales team. Imagine for a minute the impact that this would have on Google, the cost savings it would have from a staff perspective, but also are there any hidden costs or risks associated with that? Throughout the presentation, we're going to be asking you some rhetorical questions for you to consider on your own time, and we really encourage you to think of yourselves as a business consultant as we go through the presentation. First, however, we're going to discuss the past of AI. So what is AI? AI is, at its base level, a theory that computer systems will be able to perform tasks that would normally require human intelligence. AI, as we currently know it, began in 1956, and there are four base types of AI. So there's reactive AI, which is your Netflix recommendations. So you watch a movie, you like it, you dislike it, you tell Netflix how you feel about it, and Netflix will use that to generate more suggestions for you. So it's constantly reacting to your input. There's also limited memory AI, which is really what a lot of the conversation today revolves around. So this is ChatGPT, this is Midjourney. You can see we have a demo of what Midjourney looks like here on the side. And what it does is it has been taught a bank of patterns and different ways to react to your input. So whenever you put in a prompt like riding the wave, what it does is it goes through, it recognizes the patterns, and it generates an image based off of what you've put in to give you back out. Same thing with ChatGPT. It's recognizing the patterns and it's giving you back a prompt. From there, there's also the theory of mind AI. So that is a true impromptu conversation with AI. So it's not just ChatGPT relying on its memory bank, but it's having an organic conversation that is a bit more intuitive from the AI's perspective. And the fourth and final version is self-aware AI. We don't have this. This is the true version of, robots and AI and machines. So like Data or Bishop or even Hal from Space Odyssey. So again, most AI today is generative, it's machine learning, and it's pattern recognition. And that is really where you can focus on riding the wave and making sure that you are prepared. So AI's role today is again, automating tasks and learning patterns and making decisions. There are, however, several ethical considerations with AI. So there is heavy bias in AI. I think especially if we think of Midjourney, if you put in a prompt to ask for a human or a person, chances are you're going to get a white person back. Midjourney has just been taught that way, intentionally or not. Thievery is also an issue when it comes to AI. So people have to populate the AI knowledge base with existing material. So what that means is if they're putting an essay into the AI, and you're never going to get that exact essay back, but you're going to get something, you could get something back that's going to look very similar. There's also a possibility for inaccurate information and hallucinations. It really ties into a larger conversation of where are the citations in AI? Are there checks and balances? It's such a new and emerging field that there's no manual, and it's essentially just the wild west when it comes to management of these systems because they're growing so quickly. So if we pause for a second and if we think about Google, and if Google uses AI for all of its ads, what does this look like? Chances are what Google would do is train an AI based off of all of their past ads so that the AI machine could then regenerate ads from prompts. That still means though that they're going to need prompt engineers. They're going to have to be aware of the fact that they may be even stealing work from others. How do they make sure that they don't do that? Could they teach their programs based solely off of those past ads? Obviously, Google has demonstrated that AI job displacement is a possibility. You have to consider the fact that you may also be replaced by someone who knows AI if you yourself don't, which is why riding the wave is so important so you don't get caught up in the tsunami. Again, as we think of Google, do you think that Google could have done anything different to predict the trends? They've really been on the cutting edge with Bard, so should they have known more looking into the future? But before we get there, we're going to go ahead and talk about AI in the present and see if it looks any different.
All right. Thank you so much, Daisy, for that information. So, as we're looking at the question here, the questions that we have here on the screen, how long has it been around? And we're considering that the industries that are currently using AI and what skills are required for the current job market, or how can we use AI as university employees and students? And finally, how AI is currently used in the workforce. I want you guys to think about this. Can you think of an old piece of AI that you use in your day-to-day life? Maybe go ahead and drop it into the chat box right now. What about Siri? Apple officially released her in 2011. So then consider, is it a trend that's here to stay? Will it become assumed skill that we all have, like email or Word? We want to consider the benefits of Google firing 30,000 people. It will save them money, but it will also really have a question about, will their product improve? We've established that they'll need to teach their AI programs about their past ads. Will they need prompt engineers to finesse usable ads, information, and videos out of the database? There will still be the human element and human cost needed to operate the inputs and outputs for AI technology. And so that begs the question, how does AI integrate into different industries? You might want to consider this. Now, for me, I use AI for creative and informational purposes. Other people use it for idea generation and automation. Daisy, how do you use AI?
Great question. I say that I use AI pretty superficially, so I use it as a work partner to help me. Maybe I generate event descriptions, event ideas, anything that I can do to make day-to-day tasks easier. I've spoken with a variety of different employers, and they use it in a variety of different ways as well. I know one colleague who uses a program to attend meetings with him, and it actually takes notes for him and lets him focus entirely on the meeting. So he knows that his note taker is able to draw out the main tasks from a meeting. I'm also aware of a marketing firm who uses AI essentially as an unofficial coworker. They're able to teach this AI what their past video schedules have been like for the marketing company, and
Mhm.
the program is able to map out when they should release videos, and as well as draw out the best content and pieces of those videos that were most successful for them to replicate. It has increased their output, but it also has moved up their timelines because they're able to work with AI in this way.
That's wonderful. I think that it's really great to think about how to use AI in the workplace. And so, as you all are thinking about how you utilize AI in the workplace, um, think about how you can start to optimize the knowledge that you have to really become a producer. So, this is something that you definitely want to familiarize yourself with so that you are riding the wave of AI, that you are at the forefront of that innovation and creativity, and really how can you leverage it to make business processes easier or better, more proficient as you go into the workplace. And think about that from the perspective of your current industry that you work in or the roles that you seek to occupy in the future. We're going to include some information about different AI tools that you can utilize going forward as you continue your education here, but also as you go into the workforce. Think about some of the problems that your company may be facing and how you can utilize that to help solve some of those problems. For me, working here, I also am a adjunct instructor, and sometimes I need to utilize AI to write prompts for myself when I am checking papers. So that's the way that I will utilize it here at work. So now we want to talk to Daisy about the future because as we thought about this and how you guys can start to utilize it in your future, we really want to understand some of those impacts. So Daisy's going to jump into that right now.
Absolutely. And spoiler alert, there are massively unknown impacts. We have minimal idea of what the future of AI could look like because it's such a rapidly growing field. What I've learned, and I think that, what the general consensus is right now, is that it is so important to be aware of AI, to be skilled in it, at least in the most basic of senses, which again is what you're doing here by learning how to ride this AI wave. There are, of course, potential impacts on job roles and industries that we can look to in the future. Perhaps there's entire industries that may look different, whereas there may be entire industries that are doubling in size because of the impacts of AI. You, as a university student, however, are on the cusp of it. You are able to shape it and drive the change, even though there's so many unknowns. And I would encourage you to think of it like any other trend. Imagine how scary computers were when they first hit the workforce. Imagine how scary electricity was when it first hit the workforce. So maybe think of AI as something like that. Maybe it'll just be as simple and as ingrained in our day-to-day lives as computers are. Upskilling with AI is going to be paramount. Lifelong learning is something that everyone should strive for, and AI should be one of the topics that you use. We strongly encourage you to use LinkedIn Learning. As an SNHU student, you have free access to it. We'll have a link in the description as to how you can access it and take classes to begin that upskilling process to have that ability.
That's wonderful. And I think that's a great recommendation, Daisy, that people utilize LinkedIn Learning. It's so important. Some other things that we could talk to you about in terms of recommendations so that you're riding the AI wave as opposed to being surprised or being reactive towards it, because that's what the tsunami is. It's being reactive. Whereas riding the wave, you're being proactive and you're taking more control of your future career and leveraging it so that you become a person of value, that you have value proposition for those industries that you work in and the roles that you work in. So we want you to ride the wave. So that's the first recommendation that we have. You want to stay relevant and up to date on the skills that you possess. How does AI relate to your particular industry? So when you leave here today, think about that. Maybe think about that question and answer it for yourself. And if you don't know the answer, it's a great way and a great start to researching the answer to that so that now you know how to prepare for it. You want to upskill, like Daisy just said, with LinkedIn Learning. Follow AI newsletters such as Superhuman AI. When you get into LinkedIn, if you're not on LinkedIn, it is a social media platform for professionals that you definitely want to be able to become a part of. 95% of recruiters are utilizing it for recruitment of individuals. They can see your profile, and you also can look into companies and research them. That is a form of AI. The some of the Boolean searches that they run in the background, they're able to go in and look at have the AI in LinkedIn, look for people with specific skill sets. So when you're setting that up, you want it really specific. But join some of those groups, those AI groups out there that are related to your particular industry. Another recommendation is utilize our resources here at SNHU. You want to attend events like this one, network with your peers. So as you guys are engaging in the chat box with one another today, drop your LinkedIn profile link so that you guys can stay connected. That way you can start to bounce ideas off of one another as you go forward. Also, meet with your career advisor. We have many of them here today, and meeting with your career advisor is a great way for you to strategize and really look at some of those for ongoing trends in your industry. And maybe you can learn about different micro credentials or certifications or software that you can utilize that will teach you how to leverage AI in your particular industry. Your degree is a qualifier, and so you want to make sure that you also have some of the soft and hard skills and additional software and competencies that are needed to complement what you're getting as you complete your degree here at SNHU. And then the final recommendations is practice AI, right? So familiarize yourself with various AI programs. So as mentioned earlier, we're going to provide you with a list of AI software that you can get to know. And also, there might be new ones that are specific to your industry. So look at your professional associations for your particular role or your particular profession. That way, if you're looking at the professional associations, if you're not a part of one, join them because then you can start to get more information about industry and how AI is changing the industry and what trends are there so that you can really secure your future and ride the wave and not get hit by that tsunami or be reactive to losing your job. And then you want to become comfortable with the basics, willing to learn, willing to change, willing to adapt. Because I can tell you this right now, AI is going to do that, all of those things. It's going to learn, it's going to adapt. And so you want to make sure that you stay on top of those trends.
With that, we've learned about the past, present, and future of AI. We've covered some recommendations, including upskilling, which will be vital. Again, I'm Daisy, and it's been a pleasure being here with you guys today.
I agree with you, Daisy. And my name is Sonia Moffett. We want to thank you for joining us for Ride the Wave and don't get caught in the tsunami.